Generic greetings and welcome back once again to Prison Architect. Today's beverage is a very filling and rather tasty cheeky choc coconut protein drink shake type thing, half beverage, half physical nutrients. So welcome back to the game where previously we spent a lot of time and money on making this big block of a monstrosity here. This is the cell block A. It's not only the cells, which are at the top here, more on that in a moment, but also all of the support systems for it. So that's like some sort of space shuttle or something. Yes, we have things like visitation and the kitchen and canteen, the yard, and all the ancillaries and stuff. So that's the idea here, to make a block that is repeatable, clonable, and also modifiable. So these cells here, these are the standard 3x2s. We can change those up and be bigger as we progress on. So let's crack on with that. We've got basic detention center grant and the long-term investment. I'm going to pick up another one just for the sake of money, and let's go with, I don't know, say health and well-being. That should be a fairly easy one. We need a psychologist, medical ward officer, etc. I'm also going to go to prison. Oh, actually, what do I want? Prison. I want to go for logistics, which is prison labor. No. I want to be able to find out what the grading of cells are, which is in logistics, so it requires prison labor, so I'll pick that one up there. I'm also going to go with prison policy as well, and we're probably going to go for we'll go for tax relief as well, because the earlier we get that, the better, and that leaves us 15,000 in order to finish this, so that should be fine. And well, over to, well, let's see, we need to get the basic detention center done. So we need cooks, kitchen, yard, shower, holding cell. Some of these will be temporary, and that's fine. Most of them actually will be. So we'll go with the holding cell, and I'm just going to say designate that there. Let me go over to walls and doors. Doors. I've decided... not doors yet. We need to do the walls first. I've decided to keep these walkway sections in, just because if we do go for more cloning, it means that I can either, well, this one doesn't need, truth be told, they don't need the walkways in, but I've decided to do it because I like the look of it, and also if we do need more access into the centre for whatever reason, we have the option there, and adding additional room won't necessarily help us that much, so we'll see anyway. So that's now in, that is fine. Let's say one of these will be visitation. I've already decided on that one, so this will say visitation. It means I can have the ones on either side all the way down, or I can split it up if there's too much of an issue and have people come in, say, from the bottom, but that should be fine. Anyway, back to the building. I also need a shower, which is going to go in there. It doesn't matter. And then we need a yard, which yards can go anywhere. So, I mean, I could place a yard like that. Although what I'm probably going to do, yard is a minimum size of 5x5, so I'm probably going to have maybe, oh, that's not going to work. I was going to say, I was going to have maybe like a bit on the outside that's going to be canteen, half at yard, half canteen, and make like a sort of a gap like that, but that is, yeah, that's going to break it, so I can't have a yard. Anyway, that's all good. We need a kitchen as well, which I'm going to have in... yeah, end of chat. I am going to have in, I just don't know exactly where. I'll tell you what I'm going to do first. I'm going to put the lights in, because, well, we do need them, and at the moment they are, well, they're not in existence, so let's go ahead and sort that, and I'm going to make sure that I put them in the same place in these areas here. Cancel that one, cause there, and then maybe, see, I'm just putting them on the... Actually, I'm going to remove those. I'm going to place them on the corners here, because already I've got it wrong there. And then we'll place maybe a couple down, and then there. And then obviously I need to put in something in the middle, and maybe one in between. So there and there, and then maybe one there, one there, one there, one there. I guess I could come down like that as well. And that's roughly the same. It's about right. And then we'll go on this side as well, which is going to be, say, well, work from the back over. So we'll say from, I don't know, that one, and then two cells, and then 2 cells. And yeah, that should be fine. So 2 cells. Is that right? So I think it is. So about 2 cells and 2 cells, and then 2 cells, and then in the middle we'll have a similar thing. Obviously the lights are not perfect, but actually in here it'd probably be a bit easier to just light the corner pieces like this. And as I said, as soon as we clone it, it will make it easier for all involved. There we go. And then I'll do the cells individually because I'm just going to do one of them and then clone it and then move from there. As for the lighting in here, well, it's just going to be something like that. Say something like that, exactly like that. And there we go. Right, so we'll go for the holding cell. So for that, this is going to be a temporary feature. We're going to do that. Visitation will be permanent. I haven't put lights in here, actually. I haven't put lights in the rooms that I'm actually building. So like that. Or do I just follow what we've got here? I guess we could. There we go. And yeah, these other rooms, I'll sort those out later on. Or forget, one of the two. So holding cell will require a bench and a toilet. We will require a shower head in the shower, so like so. And then that'll be the holding cell done, the shower done, the yard is technically done, the kitchen is not. Also, lighting is adequate, apart from over here. So the best way to fix it is just to run it straight across, like so. That will power up these corners, so there we go. I could run it across and down, actually. And that would... yeah, I could run it across and down and sort of follow these, but there's no real need to. Water, I am just going to run right up like so to about there, because that'll be where the last one is on these bits, maybe. We'll see anyway. Yes, I'm still going to have to demolish these bits if I decide to go that way, because when we go to sell, we can place one of them in. It's one of the tests I'm going to do. Let's just go there, and we'll have to see about all of the rest of it. I'm just going to build a model cell, and then we can figure out exactly what it's going to be. So there's that. Doors wise, going to standard jail door it, and we'll have a standard bed, and then the toilet will go there, and then there is a grant completion payment for the long-term investment, I think it was, so that is all good. We have lots of options here, but I'm not going to pick that up. What I will do is go to logistics and room quality, and there we go. So this is what I wanted to see. So this is the cell. And the cell is graded from 0 to 15. So at the moment, it is graded at 0 because it's not been built. All right. So, sorry, it will be built, but we need, well, because it's at least 6 squares, which is normally the default, it gives it +1 to quality. However, it doesn't have any windows, which gives it a -1. You can see at the bottom of the list there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 items that give it a minus. So that's fine. So that would give it a room quality of 0 if you were to do nothing else. I don't know if you can get it to -1 or minus anything. I don't know. I think I assume it just it stops at grade 0, and it ranges from 0 to 15. It can't go below 0 or higher than 15. So that would be fine for our very basic cell. However, it's not going to be grade 15. Grade 0, because we are going to put in a shower, which makes it grade 1. If we were to put in a window of any kind, it would do a couple of things. Firstly, if it was a standard window, that wouldn't give it any positive, but it would remove the negative of no outdoor windows. No windows at the bottom. And then an outdoor window is +2. Okay, so if I was to have it at, say, 16 squares, that would be +1, 2, 3. A large window of 4. I could go 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. You can potentially get it to +17 with just items, so you don't need this that I planned off previously. We don't need it. However, I've already budgeted for it, so frankly, I am going to put it in. Now, I don't know, as I said, if it is strictly necessary, but doing this means that I can have an outdoor window and a large one at that, which means that's an immediate +4. Because it is that correct? Let me double check that calculation. It would be a large window which is +1. Outdoor window +2, that's the +3. And then the minus... technically, it's not +4, it's +3, but we remove the -1 no windows at the bottom. So, yes, that would be fine. We can get this to 0 if we want to, by the way, because we can surround it by the depressing walls, glass wall, walls. I'll just be reset. Walls. So yes, we'll do that if we need to. It's very low quality. Yeah, okay. The yard actually is a +3 because of the size of it, although I will be shrinking this down, so that's not actually representative. And to be frank, I don't know if I need a yard. You don't need a yard. So again, we'll see about that one. Anyway, they're going to crack on building that and do everything else. Let me just go to max speed. The kitchen is... well, I think a kitchen it might go around here. Although I might just put it in one of the corners. Considering the size of these, I think maybe just put it in one of the corners would be fine. Yes, it's a bit of walking, but it's not too much. Okay, it's what I'm going to do. I'm going to have one of these as a kitchen, because this is too big for a kitchen. And if I put one of these as a kitchen, I can either have the other one as a kitchen if I need to expand upon it, or I can have it as a cleaning cupboard, in which case there's more work. That is how I'm going to do it. For good or for ill. And we will have in... ooh, double doors, standard doors. Do I want the doors like I've positioned them here? I've actually placed the lights based on sometimes where the doors are, not really matters. I could place them at the top and that would give me a little bit more, would it? Would it give me anything else? If I was to, say, wall this up like that and then just put the doors on like so. It would. It also means I can build across there if I need to and seal this bit off and get more space. That would provide me with a bit more space. I did say about keeping this in case we need access down here, but I am doubting myself now. Like, do we need it? What if I was just to wall it off and do that? Or maybe double it like that? Or even like that? You're just getting loads more space. And it seems quite obvious, doesn't it? On reflection. That's what I'm going to do. It does... and yeah. I mean, is this kitchen far too big? And the answer is probably yeah. It probably is. But it is good to have this. It also means if I place it down here, I can have a door then, because people can come through the visitation into, say, a chapel or something that would go there. I think that's still too big for the kitchen, but I like the redesign of it. So I'm not going to have this as the kitchen. I'm going to have this as the kitchen. Like that. Then I think I'll do a cleaning cupboard over there. And it means that these areas here I can have like as a classroom or something, and maybe a shop. We'll see. Anyway, this is going to be our kitchen. And the kitchen requires certain objects. Cookers, for example. And sinks. Which you can't really fit two in. But I can do that. And the fridges... would it be best to redesign that, actually? No, I think... you definitely want two sinks is always the way to go. As a rule, anyway, I think. Let's remove the cookers. 2 there. And then there's the third, that one there. And then 1, 2, 3 fridges. I think that should suffice. And, because I can, a fire sprinkler. Like so. Ironically, what will happen is that will set on fire. and break the... what will happen is that'll set on fire and it'll break. That's what happened last time. In the previous series, I thought, oh, what we'll do, I'll make sure I've got, I'll make sure I've got some fire suppression. Then the game proceeded to laugh at me in event. And it meant that the water pipe actually set on fire, or whatever set on fire, and it broke the water pipe so the fire suppression couldn't come on. So it was that day I turned to violence. Right, okay. Metal detectors. There's some obvious choices. Here, as they come in, don't necessarily need one there. And also, as they come around into their cells, I'll probably place them as well. Here. Just along here, actually. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I could turn on the mutator. There is a mutator that gives you a... what is the mutator? What's it called, actually? It's a mutator that gives you... let's see, I'm going to plumb this in. That, probably. Yeah, it's a mutator that gives you the... Oh, we could improve efficiency by installing a door control system. Yes. So, yeah, we could put a mutator on that allows the scanners to detect everything. And they use 5 times more power? The cost 10 times more power? I'm not too sure exactly. Let me bulldoze. And bulldoze. Like so. This cell's now in. And it needs a light. Which will be there. And that'll be legitimate. And then obviously we need to do with the water. Which... I'm going to change my mind on the water. I'm going to run it to here. And do this. Doesn't matter because I can sell all of that utility. And then I can do that. That means that the pipes, there's not a large pipe in the middle. That should suffice. So if I double check this, it should be grade... What, 0? Grade 0. Because it's minimum size of +1. If I had small cells unlocked from legal and small cells, it removes that restriction, so it could technically be anything. But we wouldn't have the +1 for being the standard size. But that'll be the basic cell. So, let's go for grants again. Cell block A. And prison maintenance. That one is an easy one. Prison maintenance complete. Visitation rights or security procedure certification. Security procedure certification. And patrols. We need to unlock patrols through bureaucracy. Patrol, surveillance, remote access. I want to get education. I'll get myself a psychologist. There we go. Okay. So, visitation is the obvious one. Like that. Like that. Okay. Not going to worry about metal detectors there. It'll be when they come into the cells. And we are going to unlock patrols. I'm just guessing that the chief is on something, because they were running very quick. I don't know what they were on. Yeah, remote access. They do remote access. So, let's see then. Raise capacity to 15. Simple enough. Simple enough. Basically clone this and down. I need to think about flooring. I need to think about in the centre. Do I need a... Why is that not powered up? How strange. If I was to just put a little bit in, it would help out. going to do that, and I'm going to do that. I'm going to sell that. I'm just trying to make things repeatable. And that should help out. Even though there might be metal detectors there, but we'll see. I don't know why I've put it there. It should be like that. That should do quite nicely. Yes, fine. Water is all good and connected up. Power. I don't know what we're exporting. But it feels like I can put some more wind solar hybrids in. When in doubt, wind solar hybrids. There we go. And yes, the yard. Do I need a yard? The answer is no, you do not need a yard. The question is, do I want a yard? Because I can, if I really want to, just go, there's a yard. This is the advantage of making all rooms that are minimum 5x5. Because they will go in. Oh, no, this isn't powered up. I really can't get anything right in this episode. Well, and in most would say, to be honest. There's that. Right. So we'll run that. Power export is not much, but those are in, so that's good. So I need a canteen. I also need some flooring. Also, I believe that metal detectors just went off. How curious. Okay. So I do need some flooring in and around here. That's fine. But I also need to get these grants done. Medical ward and 2 doctors. Okay. I can get myself that. I'm going to go for a cleaning cupboard. By the way, over there. And medical ward. Which is apparently... I have unlocked health. So that's an infirmary, of course. So an infirmary... Doesn't really matter where. I'll put it there. And we need for this one medical beds. Like that. That should be fine. And hire 1, 2 doctors. There's another grant completed. Visitation rights. Simple enough done. Need to build a common room. Okay. Also, while I'm on, every cell block should have a parole. I'm thinking of just making that another cell, by the way. It should be. It really should be, shouldn't it? It will be easy to do. Almost certainly I am. But visitor table. There you go. If not, I can just put loads of filing cabinets over there, which would look cool. And it would be repeatable. Right. Infirmary is in. Assign 3 guards to patrol routes, which is patrols. And obviously there's some fairly obvious ones on this. If I am going to put doors in, obviously I'll have to have a look at these. Let me just change it to that, actually, because of that very reason. So I'm going to put doors and metal detectors there. It might be better. And 1, 2, 3 guards. It also means that we can have, and we'll be having, patrols around here. And I'll change them to magenta as well. Because if I want different types, I can assign them there. Alright. And then we've got all manner of things. Governmental security ratings is the obvious one again. Okay. Let's, with the money that we have, spend some time on... Do I want to get rid of the wind turbines and put just wind solar hybrids in? Does it even tell us how much the Gen rate? Wind turbine. Highest power of the wind. Solar panels. Highest power of the sun. Wind solar hybrid. Electricity generate highest power of wind and the sun. Then connect to multiple green power sources. So, solar's the obvious one. Only generates when there's light. So, what, half the game? Half the time? I'll say half the time. the sake of simple equation. Wind only generates when the wind's going, which is all the time when you haven't got any wind on. So I'm guessing that actually wind is the most obvious. I'm going to fill these up like this, just for the sake of doing it. Because I'd already planned that. And that actually should net me a grant. The green energy grant number 8? 7? I'm not entirely sure which one it is. But once that's in, it should get me it. And there's the end of that chat. Hang on. Ah, right. It would be green energy goal 7. However, the prerequisites weather needs to be enabled. If it was enabled, it would work. Still, we're generating stuff there. Right. Let's spend some money and time on... Because the daily cash flow is at the negative, but it's not too bad because we've got we've got this all now producing extra. Let's go ahead and do some obvious ones. So I want to go with reception, and we'll pull all the objects in for this. So that goes in there. Metal detectors. I don't need them in this corridor, really, because the people are going to come down. Oh no, they will go through there, but anyone coming through that one will have to go through that one. So that one there makes that one redundant. Going through reception is, again, sort of pointless for that as well. I'm not going to put metal detectors in there for now. That might be a mistake, but we shall see. I've just right-clicked on that one, but I will redo it with concrete. There you go. All of these are going to be concrete. And I'll stop concrete there because line tiles are going in around here. In fact, line tiles might go in... I could put line tiles in the middle, couldn't I? I could put line tiles in the middle. It is a compulsion. Right, let me do over here first, because this is what I wanted to do. Concrete tiles in here. And it would be in there. So the staff room. Staff room is going to be brown carpet. As is in here. And then the toilet will be mosaic, because it'll be a similar one. As for in here, we'll go with white tiles. Yes. Concrete tiles along there and along here. And there. And I don't know what I'm going to have in each of the cells. I think I'm just going to go with concrete. Default will be concrete. I've decided on that one. So that's fine. So there we go. A little bit dour and depressing. Oh, you haven't put the chair in here. There we go. And then the line tiles, which... I mean, I'd moved away from them for a little while. But I've decided that... Whoa. That was a bit of a problem there. Bit of a lag spike. So I don't know how big this is going to be. Whether I need to make this bigger or smaller. The nursery. I don't know yet. However, these ones are the obvious bits. So we'll see. Let's just do the bulk of the work. So I don't know exactly where a lot of this is going to go. Like, I may stop there. Along here. I can't remember which bits I've done and haven't done. I've obviously not done that bit. Okay, corner pieces. I think this will just cease. Maybe there? Something like that. I think there and there. Before it gets to this bit. Okay. I say a lot of the time when we build these things, I end up not putting the floor in. And because of that, it looks very ugly for, well, some might say always. However, I think it would be good to, yeah, to put some of these in now. And obviously having to make sure we get it right. Just have to rotate them around. I'm hoping that the clone tool will function correctly. I believe it does now for these. But there we go. And it means that these can be whatever they need to be. There's always going to be like a threshold of concrete tiles there, like that. And then here, just to break it up. Okay. An attempt has been made to make it look less boring. So, we need to build a common room. We need to increase our capacity, etc. Quick build custom cloning. While I think about it, I'm going to let the game crack on. Because that is simple enough done, and then I can clone to the other side, and then it is done. Yeah. Easy. Like I said, I think this will end up being a cell, although I do like the idea of having, like, filing cabinets around here. Like parole. Like that. Oh, I'm doing it. I want it to look like that. So we have, say, filing cabinet there, and then there you go. So you can grab the files, sit down, and then inmates there. Excellent. Okay. Okay. So, we haven't got a common room, pool table, 2 TVs, 5 phone booths. We have not. So, let's work on that. We need a common room. Common room? I think it's going to be... Come on, over there. And pool tables, 2 TVs, 5 phone booths. Okay. Phone booths I'm not going to put in. There, anywhere. Phone booths I'm going to put... Maybe not in the walkway. I still need a canteen, and I think it's going to be in the centre here. Canteen. So what does your yard actually afford me? Let your prisoners enjoy the sun. No, because it isn't outside. Let your prisoners see the sun for a few hours a day under the watchful eye of your sniper towers. There is no outside to this. Anyway, so... That's going to be a canteen. I'm just going to say that yes, that is going to be the canteen. And if I want a yard... Can I fit one in? Technically, a yard can do that. I can have a yard like that. And then we'll congregate around it. Is there a reason not to do that? Another argument is there a reason to do that? I think a canteen in the middle would be just fine. But I am definitely thinking a yard would also be probably quite useful. But let's continue on with the grants that are required. So, TV, and then some chairs. in that corner. It's TV corner. Pool table. How many pool tables does one need? I need 2 TVs. Ah. Okay. Okay. Well, we need a pool table. So pop it in the corner there. It's not ideal, but at least I can fit other stuff in. I know it's cramped, but the guys can still use it. Right, I'm just going to put in a TV there for grant purposes. And I'm gonna have to build the canteen, aren't I? Which is far too big, I am aware, so maybe I will put the yard in. How many will I have? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. 32, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 38. 38 cells. However, these ones are family cells, so they shouldn't need it. So the canteen is far too big, so it would be of some use having a yard to put exercise equipment and other stuff like that, so we don't need a gym. Okay, that's settled the argument for myself. Yard. It's going to be a minimum size of 5, well, 6 by that. The reason I'm doing it like that is because then this is one canteen. Because having 2 canteens, say for example, if I split it up with a yard, say, if I was to say put a yard like that, you'd have 2 canteens, and then the logistics would be more complicated for everybody involved. So I'm not going to do that. Quick build, custom, cloning, all of that, flip, in it goes. Because I'll be building this, well, now. But I'll do planning first. So planning, objects. I can have serving tables either side. I don't need serving tables either side, however. What I'll probably do is have this serving table of, is it 3? You get 3 serving table. I think it is a serving table. Serving table small is, yes, is that size. Okay. So I could just put them on the corner if I wanted to. And I do want to. And that does allow me to then go for tables and benches. Bench small. Which would probably look better, maybe. Can use standard benches, though. Grant completion payment, by the way. Because of cell block A over here. Okay. So, this area. 1, 2, 3, 4, 8, 16. Hang on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 16. So there's that side. There's that side. Done. that's all I actually need for the canteen, actually. That would actually suffice. It would be perfectly fine. I am going to put more stuff in, though, I think. And, again, just to give it a bit more variety. Actually, first is the obvious, phone booths. Let me place some phone booths there and there. There's the grant done. And then I can go table small, like that, and bench small. Like status benches. And then in the yard, I'll build whatever I need to. Okay. Prisoner acclimatization and engagement, and cell block B. Let's pick those up. How I'm going to build the center. I'm going to have in... I'm going to go with fancy tiles, but not in the yard. I believe that is the yard's boundary. So what you can do is type yard, mouse over it, it will highlight it. It looks correct to me, but then I am an idiot. What else can we have in there then? Reclaimed rubber. Would make sense. Looks terrible, but it is built. Did I just misclick that bit? Maybe. Okay. And they need to build the yard. Actually, I don't mind that. I like the contrast of them. Okay. Flooring. Wooden. Wooden flooring in here. There we go. White tiles in those two. Haven't decided what the other are going to be. Mosaic floor in here. I'm going to put mosaic floor in there. Second, I'm going to put mosaic on both sides and just get it done. And then concrete in here and here. Alright. That is probably the most flooring I've ever put in this sort of time. Building brick. There it goes. Requires an entrance, which will be a large jail door there. That's not going to generate this, though. There'll need to be something somewhere else. Let's just put something on the right just to have that, because that's going to be where we've got security room and a kennel and potentially anywhere, a armory. I will build a temporary armory anywhere, just so we have the governmental security ratings done. Okay. Right, I'm fairly happy with this so far. I'm still unsure about as to this, and if I need to seal it off and put security rooms in, and there's loads of things to think about with that one. I mean, like I say, nursery needs to have all of that. Serving tables, yeah, all the food stuff goes in there. You need bench cribs, play mats. Similar thing for the family cells. So I will do that to remind myself that I need to actually build the thing in the next episode. Right. We're going to leave it there for now. That's been a bit of Prison Architect. I am happy with the state of progress so far and how things have gone. Your mileage may vary, naturally. As I say. Yeah, okay. Next episode, family cells. We'll run through all of that. Get them building. We'll go for more security. Get this done here. We are still on a positive daily cash flow, but mainly due to the green energy, which, if it wasn't for that, we would have failed by now. Next episode, it's fairly simple to me. Build the nursery in the family cells, get inmates. That's probably where we're at with it. Yeah. Okay. We also need laundry as well. Laundry. There you go. As is standard, we will go through the needs for the... we'll go through the needs and see what we have met and not met. Obviously, this is our lowest graded facility so far. That one there says high meal variety and high meal quality. That gives us +4 for the canteen. It is not going to be that, because I'm going to change that. I'm not going to make... I think we're probably going to have... Ooh, I say I'm not going to have that. It worked very well in the last series, having high meal quantity and variety. It really did. But certainly not going to keep it like that. And it might be based on category as well. Policy and all of that. Yeah. Might alter that. Okay. We will see how we get on. There's sentence adjustments. There's your transfers. We haven't touched on this. This is how you go from supermax to minimum to max, supermax to maximum to medium, then down to minimum. And, like, for example, this will be Supermax, and then it goes from there. Not that Supermax necessarily means Supermax inmates. You can bring in medium inmates and then change them over, and it's just a uniform colour at the end of the day if you do it that way. Let's see how we get on. Next episode, continue on. Family cells, nursery, all the standard stuff of looking through the needs and such, and we'll go for the grants as well. Let me know what you think in the comments, and as always, we'll go from there. Hope you have enjoyed it. Thanks very much for watching. Take care. And generic partings.